Welcome back to Hollister MacIntyre, everybody, and today we are going to recap the Season 5 off-season. Let's start with some player upgrades here. Kosi Mensah, of course, we're going to keep putting points into his blocking, as he definitely already has the utility aspect of the fullback position, but we need him to be a better blocker. Lance Roach, I'm excited to see his development. I think he was a fantastic running back this year. We're going to keep trying to bump up his elusive back and receiving back, as I think he can get more of a role next season. And then Chance Fortunata finally having that breakout. We knew the #1 pick would be there at some point, and he was this year. Gonna keep upgrading his run stopper and make him the best well-rounded edge rusher in the NFL. Let's look at some stats now. As Kyle Linehan, I thought he had a really good season, especially the first half, but the interceptions started piling up in the second half. Of course, his rushing was great too. 700 yards, led the team in rushing. And again, I think we need to get Lance Roach more touches next season and try to see what those two can do. Receiving now, Dylan Murdoch, the rookie, led the team. That's a bit of a problem, frankly. Pettis and Hardeman were a little disappointing in my opinion, and I hope to see a clear wide receiver talent emerge next season. We're going to have to look at it in the offseason though, and we will be seeing that coming up soon. Let's keep moving on here. Blocking wise, Frank Ragnow, of course, ever reliable rock. Connor Williams. Now granted, Connor Williams got the most volume of snaps, but Connor Williams gave up 6 sacks. I think we need a better blindside pass protector. Defense now, Trey Harris. First season as a full-fledged outside linebacker. I've heard he's been bulking up in this offseason. We'll see if that weight goes up. Maybe some of those strength ratings go up. He had a fantastic season. Very reliable tackler. Definitely was solid in the run game, which I thought would be his weakest element. Then tackles for loss, Mitch Newman, I thought he was good this year, but took a step back for sure. Chance Fortunata, again, our best pass rusher, and it wasn't close. Justin Madubuike, well, okay, I take that back. It was close. Justin Madubuike was really good, and Kenny Durkins was really good too. It's just when you're playing behind Chance Fortunata, you might not get as much chance to sack as often. Jeff Okudah got 7 interceptions this year. Unfortunately, the rest of the team really didn't get a lot of takeaways. I think that's one thing we need to look for going forward, although that is a bit of random variance. Looking at some of our team stats now, and you can see we were pretty good. Offensively, we were a little balanced. I think we were good in the pass game and great in the run game, due to how many of our players could run the ball efficiently. Defensively though, this is where things start to fall apart. Second worst pass defense team in the NFL. Rush wise, we were #1, and I think with the exception of a few players in a few teams, that was true. Here's the other big issue, as usual, giveaways. 34 giveaways to only, how many takeaways? 13? Yeah, that's not good. Let's go ahead and look at the Super Bowl now, as the Giants the Giants played the Titans. This was crazy to see on stream. I was not expecting that, and we'll go ahead and talk about that in a minute. Now the Pro Bowl we'll take a look at and see if any of our players made it. Kosi Mensah made it, of course. Not too surprised there. He's a really good player. As far as the offensive line goes, nobody. Chance Fortunata on defense though, no shocker. Justin Madubuike making it. He absolutely deserved it as well. And then as far as cornerbacks go, no Jeff Okudah? Yeah, that makes no sense. Lance Roach making it as a returner. Looking at the MVP award, Baker Mayfield wins it. Of course, that's how we know this is a game and not real life. Offensive and defensive player of the year, I'll go ahead and show those as well. And then offensive rookie of the year, Kyle Linehan. No shocker here, taking it home. It is mostly a quarterback award. Dylan Murdoch getting 5th place there. Chantel McKenzie wins defensive rookie of the year in the NFC. And Byron Handy was in the top 10, but never really stood a chance. Best DL goes to Chance Fortunata, and I think that is well deserved. He had a fantastic season. Now here's what frustrates me. Best defensive back goes to Jeff Okudah, and where was he in the Pro Bowl? John Schweiss winning Defensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC, though. Really happy to see that. And Kyle Linehan, after his award, will get a few upgrade points here. We'll go ahead and try to focus on his downfield throwing a bit, although I think field general and his short accuracy could also be worked on. A lot to work on him still. He's a project. Chance Fortunata now getting another upgrade. This guy is just... I'm so excited to see him continue to grow, and I expect his payday is coming up soon. It's going to be a hefty one. So let's talk a little bit about that Super Bowl as the Giants and Austin Belton, our former quarterback, take home the Lombardi Trophy. Oshana Jimenez winning Super Bowl MVP, actually, as an outside linebacker there. That was insane. And you just got to go to the stream to see the recap on that, on my reaction. Akeem Hicks retiring, by the way. Let's go ahead and look at some re-signings here. Kerry Webster, going to pull out and let him go explore free agency. I think it's time to see what Kerry Webster can do on another team. Zach Allen, I definitely wanted to bring him back. I thought he was pretty good in the run-stopping game and contributed to a good run defense, and he is returning. Let's go ahead and look at some free agents now, and this could have been a make or break free agency class. I'll let you decide where you think we landed on it, but there were so many good players here, starting with Stephon Gilmore, the cornerback, and we needed another good cornerback. I wanted to go heavily after Stephon Gilmore. Frankly, Jeff Okudah was on an island as far as cornerbacks go, and Byron Handy got exposed a lot as a rookie. We're going to also offer some linemen here, Charles Leno being one of them. I really liked him at left tackle. I thought he would be a really good upgrade to Connor Williams there. Eddie Jackson would be a great strong safety free safety replacement rather, as we are looking for one to bring man, I can't think now. Bring one of our cornerbacks back to cornerback. And then Sean Stevens at wide receiver. I really thought he was an interesting player. Young wasn't getting a lot of attention, so we'll give him a low ball offer. Might up that later on. To shore up the defensive line, after Akeem Hicks left, Matthew Ioannidis was our target, and now we will see who all accepts. Well, Charles Leno would not accept. Chris Harris, that's what I was thinking of at cornerback. Chris Harris III. Charles Leno rejects. Matthew Ioannidis rejects, and what's sad is where he goes. I will say Stephon Gilmore and Eddie Jackson joining, though, really bulked up our defense. If Matthew Ioannidis had accepted as well, our defense would have been arguably the best in the NFL. We need a tackle, and Tracy Walker was someone I didn't think had a future. I figured Tracy Walker, sending him to the Bengals, who really needed a strong safety, as well as the 3rd and 4th round pick for Jonah Williams, would get the job done, and it did. You may be thinking this is a hefty price, but hey, blindside blockers are important, and we needed one badly. Go ahead and offer to Harrison Smith to replace Tracy Walker. Now, I didn't think about how much Harrison Smith had regressed. We'll talk about that later. Stephon Tuitt will also offer, now that we'd lost out on Matthew Ioannidis. I wanted to bring him in and move him to an interior 4th deep player. John Fernandez, I really wanted to bring him back. I thought he was a good tight end. Fortunately, he did not accept. He did not reject either. Damian Good, a cornerback that I thought we could make free safety, did not accept. Harrison Smith accepted, though, and Stephon Tuitt. So again, our defense just getting better and better. Sean Stevens, I really was starting to think about how much I needed a wide receiver. Gave him a more aggressive offer, especially to top the Packers there. It kind of was just a division battle. And then Jake Matthews we would offer as a backup tackle position. Graham Glasgow, I thought he'd be a pretty good interior guard backup as well. And then Joe Schobert's a guy I saw that actually was a really good player last season. In running for some awards, and I offered him a lowball contract because I thought he could be a really good depth linebacker. Of course, as you might see later on, he really impressed and might actually be a starting caliber player. We're going to offload Matthew Beard here to the Buccaneers. They needed another running back. Darnell Price we're also going to send for some late round picks here. Matthew Beard just never really had a chance on the team, I don't think, going forward. So let's go ahead and go forward into the draft now. Who was I looking at? Well, tight end was definitely one of the positions I thought would be available by the time it got to us. Stacks J.J. Hammonds, the cornerback, is who I really wanted, but there was just no chance of trading up to get him. So let's go ahead and see where the dominoes fall here. Devontae Florence, a surprising first pick for the Buccaneers. I guess they're trying to give their boy there, Cole Bright, as many pieces as they can. As Stacks J.J. Hammonds goes 2nd overall, yeah, we had no chance to the Colts. Kyler Garrett goes to the Bears, and what's bad about this is he will start day 1. Kyler Garrett, the first quarterback taken in a draft with Baron Gajkowski, who was projected number 1. So a little interesting. Of course, we will be seeing him. Tommy McIntyre, I had interest in him. He goes to the Eagles. And then the Raiders, they also were in need of a quarterback. And what do they do here? Baron Gajkowski will be the day 1 starter for the Raiders. And I'm excited to see what he can do. I think he'll be really solid for them. Of course, I'm still in the back of my mind thinking about Kyler Garrett here. Kyle Linehan versus Kyler Garrett again. Poor guy can't escape him. Chris Jarrett goes to the Jaguars. I was considering him pretty heavily. He's a really good route runner. And then Luke McDonald, I considered between him and Theo Clements for tight end. Of course, the Cowboys took him, so now I had to consider really trading up for a tight end here. To move up 2 picks, I gave away 2 third-round picks. You may be thinking that is an oversell, and it probably was. But I really wanted Theo Clements, and I thought this was worth making the aggressive move for. And you'll have to tell me, what do you think? Guy was ranked 13th in true value. We drafted him at 13. And he has hidden development. He looks like a unicorn type prospect. The only downside to him, awareness. He's got the speed, acceleration, not quite the refined receiver skills yet, but you can get him there. But that awareness is really low. Run blocking, this guy is the complete package if we can develop him quickly enough. Well, good call on tight end because James Loxlin went 3rd, and that was all 3 first-round caliber tight ends gone. So, at this point, we've kind of got our tight end. I think we're good there. Keep moving forward here. Deez from Austin Peak, he goes next. And now it's a question of, with the 32nd pick, do I want to stay in this round? No, I don't. We're going to trade down, and we're going to try to help out our former Utah high school recruit, Baron Gajkowski, and trade to the Raiders. We will also try to trade up here to the 8th pick, or trade down rather, sorry. And trade away again to the Raiders. So they really became a trade partner for us in the draft night here. And with our next pick, 15, we would be looking at Jason Edwards. We would take him, and oh boy, those pass block ratings. You know, I watched him at Olympia. He was never a great pass blocker, always more of a run blocker, and that shows here. Alright, let's keep moving on. Mikhail Mooney from BYU going to the Packers in the 2nd round. Carson Liljengquist actually falling a bit, going to the Panthers in the 2nd round. I think he'll be really solid. Lamentations Mack will be the next quarterback taken, but he will be backing up Cole Bright. And we'll have to see if he gets another chance after his rookie contract. Miguel Stanley goes to the Colts, and he will start. The Heisman senior quarterback from Ole Miss goes to the Indianapolis Colts, and he will get a chance to play day 1. Tommy Marler goes to the Eagles, the Utah running back. And then with our pick in round 3, number 8, I liked Elijah Davis from Utah. I think he fits something we were looking for. Harrison Smith is old. We need a new strong safety soon anyway. And he can also play a bit of nickel linebacker there. A bit more of that money backer role. Think more of the guys in the NFL who can slide up and down from safety to that 2nd level. Honey Badger being case in point. Jeremiah Weston was our next pick here. Not a flashy pick, but I think a really solid one. He has a lot of athleticism, just needs to refine his coverage skills, and I think he could be a solid cornerback, depth cornerback in the future. Let's keep moving on here. And Jason Burnett, taken by the Browns. Now, he does not have a clear path to start anytime soon. Hoping the best for him, though, and hoping he gets a chance to play. With our next pick here, round 4, pick 4, Glenn Vereen would be the pick, and he had hidden development. So a potentially good edge rusher there for the future. Next pick here was Jacoby Declan. I thought he was really intriguing as a prospect. Now, what I didn't realize is he was so raw. But you can see he's got the speed, he's got the agility. We'll see what we do with him. Lee House goes to the Chargers here as a wide receiver. Now, I will check to see if he's going to be a running back or wide receiver for them, but I think the answer was wide receiver. Jason Price in round 7 goes to the Panthers to be their backup quarterback. He will be their backup quarterback, by the way. Jason Price, you might remember him from season 1 of Olympia. He decided to go into the NFL after all this time. Potentially Kurt Warner situation on our hands. Let's look at some of the drafted players here. Stacks J.J. Hammonds. Oh, he would have been so good. Kyler Garrett here. Really excited to see him play. And Baron Gajkowski. Of course, we've seen both of these guys play in college. So we'll have to see how that translates to the NFL. Baron Gajkowski, not a downfield thrower. Luke McDonald, I think he would have been a really solid pick. Of course, we ended up with Theo Clements, and I'm super happy about that. I think either of these guys would have been a very good player. You can see he's already got number 82. That's the new Jason Witten right there. James Loughlin, a really solid blocker, but not even as good of a blocker as Theo Clements. So I think we really came away with the best tight end of the 3. Evan Trambeau, I'm hurting about missing on this one. 99 speed, 99 acceleration, and a really good medium route runner. This guy was the crossing pattern king right here, and I wish I'd have come away with him. Mikael Mooney for the Packers. I think he's going to be a solid player, and I don't look forward to seeing him every time we play them, twice a year. I think Mikael Mooney has a lot of upside as an edge rusher, though. Carson Liljenquist, unlike Mooney, I think he could play a bit more of the linebacker role as a run stopper. The only problem with him is his coverage skills are not very good. Miguel Stanley, like I said, he will start day one, and I think he's actually a pretty decent quarterback here. He's got good accuracy short, and he's a really, really athletic player. The speed and acceleration don't necessarily sell him on how good of a runner he can be. Tommy Marler, of course, the scat back out of Utah, and we'll see what he can do with the Eagles. I think this was a really good pick for them there. And then Scott Clemens out of BYU going to the Giants. So a lot of NFC players now for Olympia Series prospects. Jason Burnett, of course, out of Utah State. And he's with the Browns, and not the most athletic player, but he's really, really intelligent. Lee House now, again, I don't think he'll have an upside as a running back here in LA, but he will get time as a wide receiver. I don't know that we'll see him play very soon. Hopefully, though. Again, Jason Price is the day one backup. I'm so excited for this. I actually was looking to draft him in the 7th round as my backup. Didn't expect him to be taken, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and see now the final look for this team as we'll go ahead and run through everything. And you can see we'll have a lot of position battles upcoming. I think the defense looks really, really good. I expect them to be the strength of this team going forward. The secondary position got a lot better, and the line got a lot better. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We will be seeing the preseason highlights coming up soon.